Hi guys, it's Amy Cathryn here, and this is your weekly reading for February 10th through 16th, 2020. Okay, so what I channeled and felt for this week's reading is we're going to be using the Angel Tarot card deck. I was led to Tarot this week, so I guess there's going to be some more heavy energy, especially with Valentine's Day. If you haven't seen my channel before, this is your first time, welcome to my channel. I do weekly readings on Sundays, and we do a 3-card draw, so we're going to do 1 card for Monday, Tuesday, 1 for Wednesday, Thursday, and 1 for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that's like when Valentine's Day happens. So let's go ahead and begin. I humbly request the services of my guides and angels and the guides and angels of those watching to please help us receive accurate messages from Divine Source. Thank you. And this is a 78 card deck. It's a lot. This deck is by Radleigh Valentine. It's called the Angel Tarot card deck. And tarot cards can take time, but in this case they don't. Yep, we're good. Okay. Yep, don't overthink it. Okay. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so for Monday, Tuesday we have, and what I like to do is before I say this, I like to read reverse cards. The reason being is because I feel that adds towards the meaning of the card and things that we need to work through. So there's no such thing as a bad card in Tarot. So don't ever be afraid of that, and certainly don't really absorb information coming from people who are trying to scare you with reverse tarot cards or Tarot cards. As long as it doesn't rhyme with carrot, we're fine. That extra T on Tarot is silent. Tarot, whatever, as long as it's not tarot, we're good. But anywho, we got the 5 of Air reversed. So that's what it looks like reversed. That's what it looks like right side up. When this card comes about, it is about hard decisions, and maybe not necessarily the bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. That is maybe people wanting to do, when it's right side up, it's wanting to do something that may not serve your highest good. When it's reversed, it is rising above the situation. So what I'm channeling for the meaning of this card is that you have an opportunity to take the high road this week, especially Monday, Tuesday, and use your mind and use your logic, and don't let your feelings especially if they're negative feelings, like if somebody makes you angry or upset, don't let that influence your decisions. You know how when the old saying goes is like count to 10 when you're angry? This is one of those times. I don't feel like you would necessarily be angry, but I feel like you know how there's always a temptation to wallow with the pigs, you know, when people make nasty comments online or they say things that they shouldn't. The best thing to do is to take the high road. Sometimes you have to state your boundaries and just state your piece, and then you have to just let it go. Or you might have to let a toxic relationship go. I know a lot of that is going on right now, especially after the January 12th Pluto-Saturn conjunction. There's a lot of, it feels like heaviness in the air, and don't let that scare you. It's just a time of detox. Whenever you cry, you release a lot of heavy feelings, and you feel like the air around you might feel a little stagnant. It's because you've released all that energy. And that's kind of what we're going through right now. So it's actually a good thing, because you'd rather have that outside your body than in, and it's just a matter of self-care. And if you run into any situation at the beginning of this week that really just kind of pushes your buttons, take a step back, be rational about it. That means, especially with that card being reversed, I feel it's a good omen, because that means that you're going to have the strong opportunity to take the high road. Again, free will. Everybody has their choice of free will. Some people just want to start drama. Don't be one of those people. Rise above it. For Wednesday, Thursday, we've also got the 4 of Fire reversed, which in traditional Tarot is 4 of Wands. Now, with the previous card, I forgot to mention the 5 of Air is also traditionally in Tarot the 5 of Swords, so that's the air element. So these, instead of wands, they say fire, which is also ruled by wands. They go hand in hand. That's your drive and what really gets you going. What's really interesting about this card is it is a card of celebration. And when this card shows up, regardless of being reversed or right side up, not a whole lot of cards in the Tarot deck do this. When that card is reversed, it means a very similar meaning to when it's right side up. And that means rejoice. It's celebrations. It's good opportunities coming in. Let me see what they have to say about it. it feels like part of it's rewards for what you've done last week. And I don't know if you've had to detox in some way or there was some sort of release that you had to do. I feel like that's kind of the energy of the air right now, is releasing in all different types of forms and shapes and sizes. And it feels like this is the beginning of some trickling of that in, or part of that trickling in of abundance for that too. So it may be a little bit of a lesser abundance when the Four of Wands is right side up. That's like maybe a big celebration. When it's upside down, it's more of a muted celebration a little bit. So what I'm seeing with this card is a birthday party or an event that you go to, or there's an unexpected windfall or surprise or something that just makes you really feel happy this week. And please know that whenever you release something, that opens you up to receive something better from Divine. Now on to Valentine's Day and the weekend, we have the Ace of Fire. I really like this card, and it's right side up. Only the first two cards were upside down. This is a new opportunity. It's a continuation of that theme of abundance. And when the Ace of Fire shows up, it's a lot of passion, and what's perfect for Valentine's Day, that passion energy. So it feels like there's going to be an ace in the hole energy, so to speak, because the Tarot and the 52 cards in like your regular standard poker deck are connected. So with the Tarot, you've got 78 cards, you've got 22 major arcana cards, and then you subtract that from the rest of the deck, you're going to have close to, I don't know math very well, you're going to have close to the 52 cards on a poker deck, sans the jokers. And the Ace of Fire is the ace of, I believe it's the clubs in traditional poker decks. They kind of have that similar meaning, because the Ace of Fire is Ace of Wands, which translate to clubs. So it is literally an ace for you. So this weekend, there might be something that you've been aiming for, or a goal that you want to get off the ground, or a goal that you want to make happen, or a project that you want to get off the ground. This is a great weekend for that. So it feels like Lady Luck's a little bit on your side towards the weekend. Just don't lose your head in the beginning of this week. We also have Mercury going retrograde on the 16th. Woohoo! We're so excited. Not really. Don't be afraid with Mercury retrograde. I know some people that are just like, oh my gosh, I can't sign any contracts. I can't go in a new job. Don't be that person. You amplify what you focus on. If you're focusing on worry, you're going to amplify negative things. If you feel that and are afraid that Mercury retrograde is going to be a problem for you, if you focus on that worry, you're making it happen. Mercury retrograde is nothing to be afraid of. It is about revising, reevaluating, reassessing, and restructuring. So use Mercury retrograde to your advantage by looking at how you can go deeper into things and be a little bit more meticulous about them. Retrogrades aren't negative. They're simply a time of reflection. That, again, that RE word. So when you think of retrograde, remember the first two letters of retrograde, it is redoing something. And when you really focus on that and see it as a positive and use that energy in your favor, then it's a much easier wave to ride, so to speak. Mercury also goes retrograde in, I believe it's 12 degrees of Pisces and ends up at 28 degrees in Aquarius. It goes retrograde from, the 16th of February to March 9th or 10th. And so it's going to re-enter Pisces again after it stations direct in March. So there's going to be a little bit more emotional and intuitive talking, I expect, more in March. And this is a time of really balancing your head and your heart with this theme of this retrograde. What's really interesting is Mercury dances between air and water signs throughout the year, because Mercury goes retrograde every few months, and it's really at least 3 times a year, sometimes 3.5 a little bit. So work this year whenever Mercury goes retrograde. Your head is the air element, your heart is the emotional element, the water element. So dealing with those themes of Mercury dancing between those two signs, it's about balancing your head with your heart. So if you like my weekly readings, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. I come out with them every Sunday, and I'll be coming out with a video soon on how to get the most out of your first reading, and like basically what to expect from your first reading and the do's and don'ts and etiquettes of your very first reading. So for all of you who are psychic virgins out there, that's going to be the perfect video. I will be coming out with that later this month. So again, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. I also have a website, and I have links below to where you can set up a reading for me online or reading with me online. I have an option for you to do phone readings and also web readings. I'm also at Forever and a Day in Woodstock, Georgia on Tuesdays and Fridays, and you can book through their website, which I have also posted below. Don't forget, I also have a monthly newsletter for all of my classes and events and maybe discounts, and I also give free monthly readings to my newsletters only. The newsletter subscribers are the only ones that get their own custom monthly reading, and I do custom astrology reports, so that gives you heads up for certain dates throughout the month to use that astrological energy towards your favor. So anywho, take care. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and God bless.